Listen, I'm going to say this with love, and I mean it with love. If you have anxiety and you are going to therapy and you go in and you talk about your problem to your therapist and you come out of therapy and you feel a little bit better, and then a week later you go into your therapist and talk about the same problem and you come out and you do you are strengthening the very pattern that is creating the anxiety in the first place by talking about it. So you have a belief, I'm not good enough, or even worse, you have a belief that something bad will happen. Like, you genuinely go out into the big wide world believing something bad will happen. So that creates thoughts of, oh my God, what about this goes wrong? What about that happens? Oh my God, what about that happens? What about da da da? And before you know it, that creates feelings of anxiety. And the anxiety gets you to stay in high alert, to look out for things, to avoid things, to precaution. Don't take that risk, do that, because you believe something bad will happen. So when you go to therapy and you talk about the thoughts, you talk about the feelings, you talk about the behaviors, you might fix all of those, but the very thing that's creating those behaviors, thoughts and feelings is the belief that something bad will happen. Now, something bad will happen, you would have had, like, you've got the present moment and you've got your past timeline. You go all the way back along your past timeline, and there will be a time in your life when something bad did happen. Yeah, and you might be consciously aware of it, you might be unconsciously aware of it. It could be small, it could be big. It doesn't have to be a big traumatic event. You don't have to have massive trauma to believe something bad will happen. But you've taken that belief on, it's got stored in your body, and now every time you get triggered, you relive out that very same event. So do you think talking about the problem is going to undo those years that you stacked evidence that something bad will happen? No, it's not. And this is why therapy does not work for the majority of people. What we need to do is we need to go back to that event through subconscious reprogramming, through visualization, and we need to break the fuck out of that belief. And I mean break it. Real change happens when you break the belief at its core, where it's created. You change the story, the meaning you gave it when you were younger. When you do that, you break the belief, you'll be able to step out into this big wide world and you won't believe something bad will happen, which, guess what, will remove all the thoughts, and even better, you'll have no anxiety. So anytime you're trying to get rid of anxiety through talking about it, impossible. You need to break the beliefs. If you want to do that, you can drop the word belief below. I'll send you a breakthrough that I use in my private clients. But if you're going to therapy, you can't use the same method to break the same thing. So you can't think your way out of thoughts. It's the same, you see, it's the same thing. You can't outthink thoughts, else you're just looping around. You need to shift your state and shift your beliefs.